Yo, what is up everybody and welcome back to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. What a beautiful week this is. Bitcoin currently has broken above our weekly pivot resistance right here, as you can see, and it has currently flipped it as support. And right now my next targets for Bitcoin is that last weekly pivot resistance at 115k. As you can see, that's basically almost 4% of a pump to the upside. So right now, if we go on a hard term time frame, as you can see, our momentum is very strong. Our weekly RSI is slightly getting in the overbought territory, but I'm still expecting a continuation of this pump. As I said in my previous video, that we are going to be breaking above to my target of around 115k. So basically, I'm not expecting to get there with one candle, like one big pump, but maybe we can probably get a bit of a chop right here, test this resistance line here once again, and then we can get that move up to the to my target of around 115k. And basically, there are some very important news today. As you can see, there is some a lot of food going on. Basically, a big token, so SUI, got allegedly hacked. As you can see, 11 million in SUI has been drained from the SUI USDC pool, with most tokens down 75% as pools are emptied. So basically, that's the liquidity provider on the DEX where SUI, where basically the hack has taken place. And so all of the meme coins on the SUI network have been absolutely dumping. So 11 million in a hack has caused a lot of FUD right now. And basically, if we look at SUI, I have it also as a main coin that I watch. We can see as the hack happened, guys, SUI had a big drop of around 10-11%. Basically, it also rejected from our weekly pivot resistance before the hack. As you can see, we almost touched it perfectly. And once the hack happened, then SUI got a big dump to the downside and is currently recovering exactly from our weekly pivot support right here of around $3.70. Basically, you can see we touched it perfectly. Our RSI momentum is also clipping to the upside. And right now, if we go back to Bitcoin, as you can see, our RSI momentum also looking pretty good for another potential move to the upside. As I said before, once we break above of this consolidation right here, as you can see, we chopped for almost a week and a half, and then once we broke above it, tested that weekly pivot. Since then, it has been up only, guys. As you can see, the momentum is very strong on Bitcoin. And as I said, my next target will be that 115k. Basically, it's possible that we consolidate here a bit, because if we look at the stock market, as you can see, the stock market has been currently not moving together with Bitcoin. Basically, the stock market has been having a dump, perfectly rejected, as you can see right here, from our weekly pivot support of around 5,963. Basically, the S&P 500 got almost, I think, 2.5% dump to the downside, and is currently struggling to break above that weekly pivot right here. It has currently flipped as resistance, but as you can see, our RSI momentum is getting a nice bounce from that 20 line right here. And basically, I'm expecting, if we manage to get above that weekly pivot, then I can see the stock market continue. That it's very important that the stock market also continues. So because we need basically the stock market also to be up for Bitcoin to go up, since almost like 6 to 7 years, basically almost 10, we can say that they have been very correlated. So whenever the stock market has had a big dump, as you can see right here, if we measure from January 2022 until October 2022, if we go back and look at Bitcoin this time, here is January 2022, basically around here, January 2022. So basically the whole time that the stock market has been in a downtrend, the Bitcoin has been in a bear market. So basically they are very, very correlated. But right now, as I said, I'm still expecting another move up to my target of around 115k for Bitcoin. As you can see, momentum is super strong, as I said in my previous video. Also, if we look at Ethereum, Ethereum is also looking very, very good on the weekly time frame, also on the daily, potentially gearing up for another push to the upside. Once we get above these weekly pivot resistances and break them, I can see that Fibonacci golden pocket getting hit right here of around $3,000. Basically, it correlates perfectly with our last weekly pivot resistance of around 3,130 for Ethereum. If we zoom, you can see it more clearly. So basically for Ethereum, that will be almost 18% of a pump to the upside. But as of right now, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, guys, Bitcoin dominance has actually broken above that weekly pivot and is currently breaking down of this trend line that I made in the last video. And I said basically if we need to get below that trend line once again and maybe test our previous trend line and then drop. Basically we're currently dropping below that trend line, so we need the Bitcoin dominance needs to lose this trend line in order for the altcoins to actually make a bigger move to the upside, because it's, as you can see, it's very, very sad in my opinion that for example it's only at 2,600 while Bitcoin is a crazy like new all-time high over $100,011 basically, and Ethereum is not yet close to its all-time high. For example, the Ethereum all-time high was 4,830, almost 860. Basically we need to have a almost 82% pump for Ethereum until it reaches its all-time highs again. And basically the same goes for Solana. Solana is also very far away, as I said, from its all-time highs. Another 65-66% of a pump is needed to reach the all-time highs. Basically SUI is closer, but right now with all of this FUD going around with SUI, we will see if this shakes the markets or not. I mean specifically for SUI, if it shakes the price, for example, we get a bigger push to the downside. People will be selling the coin, getting rid of their spot holdings and stuff. So basically I'm keeping an eye out on SUI, but I'm confident that they will recover this hack and it will be as if nothing has happened, but they will need to be more careful in the future. And if we look at another altcoin, basically Hype, the hyperliquid perpetual DEX, it got a perfect, their token got a perfect bounce. As I was talking in a previous video, Hype got a perfect bounce from that weekly pivot. If we zoom in, you can see we actually hit that weekly pivot to the dollar, and since then, the same as Bitcoin, it has been going parabolic while getting a pump of about 22% just from that weekly pivot, guys. So yes, very, very bullish on this coin. Also, it has a lot of potential to grow. It's currently almost at its all-time highs, and it's another strong buy for me. But right now I will be holding back from buying at the all-time highs. I will probably wait for some kind of retracement for the altcoins, because I'm sure it will happen before we actually get that bigger move to the upside. As I said, for Ethereum, also all the altcoins, I'm thinking we can shoot straight up. It's technically possible, but I'm not confident that it will actually happen. So maybe we firstly hit here, then we get some kind of a rejection, clean out all the long traders once again, and then we can target the all-time highs again. Also, if we look at the liquidation heat map, we almost took out all of the liquidity, but as I said, there is liquidity all the way to 100, basically 120k Right here on top there is not so much, but almost until 120k there is a liquidity sitting above us still. That's why I'm firstly targeting that 115,000 level for Bitcoin. As I said, basically because my target is there because of that weekly pivot resistance. Next week we will probably get new weekly pivot points, and basically there will be probably higher. So 120 is also in the cards, as I said, but this will be happening next week. Also, if we look at our open interest, you can see very much longs opening. As you can see, our open interest getting higher, and also our CVD delta getting higher. And also, if we look at the Bitcoin ETF flows, basically all of the bigger investors like BlackRock, Fidelity, all of them are putting in millions of Bitcoin. So basically for every day in the past week, we've had above almost 200-300 millions. Like as you can see here, we've had 600, 320, and as of today we also got 600 million of Bitcoin ETF inflow. So the big institutions, the companies are buying. Also with Donald Trump supporting the crypto market, I said I'm expecting, as I said, even 115 to 120 as of right now for the Bitcoin price. And also, as I said in my previous videos, that possibly we will have some kind of a cool off for the stock markets. And as you can see, it is currently happening now. Now this does not mean that we will drop down significantly, like 7 or 10% maybe, but I'm not saying it can't happen. But as you see, we were really overbought. Our RSI was totally in the overbought territory below above our 80 line, and then we are getting right now this cool off that's needed for the price to continue higher once again, and then take the all-time highs, as I said. And Bitcoin of course will follow. It's very beautiful, guys. Bitcoin trading above $111,000. It's actually perfect, and I have been calling for this pump even at the beginning of the month when we were trading like at 95k. So basically we did catch this move to the upside. That's a almost 20% pump, and in my opinion there is almost 10% left of juice in it. That's my opinion. And also if we look at our long to short ratio, as you can see, still very big portion of the exchanges are still long, so more longs than shorts basically. So this still gives me hope that we will take the all-time highs once again and make newer. And basically if we go also to our crypto fear and greed index, as you can see, we are back in the grid, almost back in the extreme greed zone. As you can see, we're approaching it. So basically once we're at 80, then we will be at that extreme greed zone, and then I will be looking for some kind of a bigger retracement once we get there. But by the time we get there, I'm thinking that the price will be at around 115 to 120k. So this is my outlook for the price as of today, guys. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe for the channel, like, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Bye.